Good evening. Wolves Football Club is up for sale. Within the last hour and a half, chairman and owner Steve Morgan announced on social media that he's pulling out after 8 years in charge. The club cost him just £10 on the promise that he would invest a further £30 million. In an official statement, the club said it's business as usual while a new owner is found. Here's Giles Latcham.
He's the Scouser who switched his footballing allegiance to one of the West Midlands sleeping giants. 8 years ago, Steve Morgan famously bought Wolverhampton Wanderers for a tenner from the club's legendary benefactor Sir Jack Hayward. Just last month, he told Midlands Today what the city meant to him.
As Sir Jack said when he was alive, that I'd had a heart transplant to Wolverhampton, and I think it's a bit more than a heart transplant, it's a whole body transplant. So, yeah, that's what Wolverhampton's become to mean to me.
But in a statement late this afternoon, the club announced Morgan was putting his 100% shareholding up for sale. Steve will step down from the board with immediate effect, it said. It's very much business as usual. Steve would like to relay to all concerned that his ongoing commitment and financial support to Wolves will continue until a new owner can be found. So where's it gone wrong? On Saturday, Wolves needed a goal in injury time to scrape a 1-1 draw with Preston. They find themselves languishing near the foot of the Championship, promotion hopes already receding.
What's been going on? I know that Steve Morgan will have obviously come under pressure from the fans, and I know the social media sites were going crazy in the last few weeks regarding the start that the club has made and the lack of investment.
He made his fortune building homes. He built Wolves a new training ground. But critics would say he didn't spend enough building a team, and that's a job he's now leaving to another. Giles Latcham, BBC Midlands Today.
Well, our sports reporter Dan Pallett is gauging reaction from fans on the Radio WM football phone-in. So, Dan, what's been the reaction so far?
Well, I have to say we've got a Wolves fan on right now. There's lots of surprise to the news. Actually, what they think of it is extremely mixed. Let's go and get involved with the programme this evening, because Steve Froggatt, former Wolves player, is with us. What do you make of the news this evening that Steve Morgan wants out of the Wolves?
It's a real bombshell. I don't think anybody was expecting it to happen. The timing seems strange, particularly with the team struggling in recent weeks as well. And obviously it came out of the weekend that Kenny Jackett's not been happy with the transfer policy of the football club. So yeah, it's a real surprise. But for somebody out there, it's a really good football club to buy. But it depends on how much he wants for the club.
Fans were a little bit concerned about lack of investment in the summer. Does it all make sense now?
Well, we said on the show a couple of weeks ago, something didn't seem right at the football club. There seemed lots of issues going on inside and outside the football club, and I think obviously this has been an on-running thing. We don't know. Is there health issues aside? Could it have been something after the Preston game that the chairman's just decided he's had enough with obviously all football chairmen are all pantomime villains, aren't they? They can never do anything right. But again, the timing's very strange, and I think the Wolves fans, as we're seeing tonight on the show, there's an awful lot of questions that need answering.
What is happening in the Midlands? Birmingham City, Aston Villa, West Bromwich Albion. Now the Wolves all for sale.
Well, but none of them can sell. I mean, Aston Villa have been on the market now for 18 months. Randy still can't sell the club. I mean, Jeremy Peace almost got to that point where sold and now decided not to. I just think the allure now of those massive Premier League football payments are just...
The big money's scaring them off.
That's exactly what they're after.
Absolutely. There's lots of questions for Wolves and the rest of the West Midlands football scene this evening.
Indeed, Dan, thanks very much. And of course, we will have more on this later in the programme. A mother of a missing Coventry student says she'll